Ever tried a whiskey finished in Calvados casks?
Calvados casks.
You know, those French oak barrels?
Oh, right, for the apple brandy.
Exactly. Today we're diving into Hyde No.10 Calvados Cask Finish Irish Whiskey.
Okay, sounds interesting. I'm excited to give this one a try.
Yeah, it's got this fascinating blend of flavors. Like we're talking ripe apples, pears, honey, even a hint of spice.
Wow, so it's almost like a warm autumn orchard, but in a glass?
That's a great way to put it. All right, so first things first. Appearance-wise, it has this beautiful golden amber color.
A bit lighter than I'd expect from a cask strength, right?
Yeah, definitely lighter. And the clarity is amazing, crystal clear, almost like looking through a polished gemstone.
That lighter color, often means they were going for a more subtle touch with the Calvados cask, not trying to overpower the base spirit.
And that really comes through on the nose. I get this initial wave of like fresh baked apple pie with a touch of cinnamon, but then there's this delicate pear note.
Yeah, pear is really a classic indicator of Calvados maturation. Those casks you see, they used to hold apple brandy. So they absorb all those flavor compounds, the esters and aldehydes, that give Calvados that signature fruitiness.
It's really interesting how those flavors carry over. And it's not all fruit either. There's a subtle floral note with a touch of honey and vanilla underneath.
Almost like a warm apple crumble with a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
And if you really get in there, there's a hint of oak and spice, almost like nutmeg. It's amazing how complex it is, even before you take a sip.
Complexity and balance, that's what I always say. That's the mark of a well-made whiskey. And it seems like so far, Hyde No.10 is ticking all the boxes. Let's see how those aromas translate onto the palate.
All right, here goes nothing. Takes a sip.
There.
Wow, it's so smooth.
What are you getting?
The first thing that hits me is this incredible baked apple flavor, almost like apple pie filling.
Yeah.
But then it sort of shifts into this stewed pear, kind of like a poached pear with caramel sauce.
It's interesting how you get both those baked and stewed fruit notes. I think the Calvados cask is definitely adding that brighter, almost jammy fruit character, while the Irish whiskey, with its maltiness and its time in those ex-bourbon barrels, that's where you get that baked, caramelized depth.
And they work so well together, really playing off of each other, creating this, like, harmony of flavors. Oh, and now I'm getting a little bit of citrus zest, like a squeeze of lemon. Where'd that come from?
That's the beauty of cask finishing. It's not just about, imparting the main flavors of what the cask used to hold. The wood itself, it's interacted with those flavors for years, right? So it changes, it evolves. So those subtle citrus notes, those spice notes, they're probably coming from the oak itself, enhanced by all that time cradling the apple brandy.
That makes so much sense. Okay, I have to ask, what about the finish?
The finish. Well, a good whiskey should always leave you wanting more, shouldn't it?
It definitely does.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about it?
Well, with the Hyde No.10, the finish is where those lovely fruit notes we talked about, that's where they really shine. It's long, warm, and incredibly satisfying. Apple and pear linger for a while, then slowly fade to reveal that hint of oak, the vanilla, and a touch of spice.
Everything just comes together so perfectly. Final verdict.
Yeah.
I am a fan of this Hyde No.10.
It really highlights how cask finishing, when it's done well, it adds this complexity and intrigue without masking the soul of the whiskey itself. You can tell it was finished in Calvados casks, but it never overshadows the classic Irish whiskey characteristics. It's more like they're working together to create something special.
It makes you wonder what other unexpected pairings are out there.
Right. So many possibilities.
Exactly. If any of our listeners have tried any interesting cask finishes, let us know. But for now, we're going to savor this last bit of Hyde No.10. Cheers to apple brandy and the magic it brings to Irish whiskey.